Welcome back to the Predicted 23. My name is Ari. This week we are coming up against the Dons on Friday night. Hopefully another win, 4 on the trot. Of course, this is the second last 23 of the year. Just got the Dons and then the Giants left before we say goodbye to the 2025 season. But yeah, sit back and relax, Saints fans. I know there's been a lot of noise over the last couple of days around Callum Wilkie, Jack Steele, Rowan Marshall, obviously Naz, Windy. Ross Lyon, thankfully, sort of put some of that fire out on Footy Classified last night. Wilkie's not going anywhere. Marshall's contracted. Steele's contracted. We'll sort the Windy one out, hopefully. We keep being told that the club is confident around Naz, so let's hope that stays the same. But we've got a side to pick this week, so let's get straight into it. Coming in, Alex Dodson for his debut, and Toby Travalia. Coming out, Max Heath and Zach Jones. Let's talk about it. So Dodson is coming off of one of his best games in the VFL, probably his best game. He's had a couple of monstrous performances recently, but I think with Max Heath not having a great game, mind you, not all of that was entirely his fault. I think it's time to try that third toll. We tried Kilda, we tried Heath, now let's try Dodson. So to help out with some list management decisions, but also we just want to see what our young talent can produce, and he's earned his spot, so he deserves it. He had 35 touches, 41 hitouts, and 7 clearances. I'll read you his VFL report as well. Alex was terrific against the Tigers. He dominated in the ruck early with his ruck craft and then had a great battle through the game. His ability to follow up and the work below his knees is great for a big guy, and he continues to make good decisions around the ball and around the contests. So, yeah, pretty glowing review of him. I would expect him to come in, take that spot off Max Heath, play forward, give Rowe a chop out in the ruck as well. So, hopefully we get that exciting news later in the week. Toby Travalia, the other one, he's been chipping away. Seems like he's improving every week. I would say with him, it's one where if the spot's open and he's playing well, he goes in, but we're not certainly rushing him. But I think this week a spot's open and he probably does come in because his form has been good. He had the 23 touches, 9 tackles, 6 intercepts. And 4 of those tackles were inside 50. His report reads, played a solid all-around game, playing across halfback and in the midfield. He was clean around the footy and made some great decisions where he was able to have a real impact for us as a midfielder as the game went on. So those are the ins for this week's. The outs, Max Heath I already spoke about, hasn't done a lot wrong, but it's just one of those where Dodson's playing that well. He probably gets the chance. Heath didn't quite produce, even though the forward entries were pretty diabolical on the weekend. So he gets unlucky, but we've certainly got a good look at him. I think he's played 3, maybe 4 games now. So we got a good look at him, and hopefully for his sake, list management makes a decision that favours him. But coming out as well, Zach Jones, I think it's one of those ones where if our young talent isn't performing, Zach Jones is there ready to go to take that spot off them and keep that selection integrity up. But I think his performances certainly haven't been outstanding. He's been okay without being terrible, but he's going to probably have to make room for Travalia this week. So those are the ins and the outs. Let's go over who's in contention. Jack Carroll had a pretty solid game, 35 touches, 11 clearances, 8 tackles, 8 inside 50s, 6 tackles and 6 score involvements. His report pretty much reads that he started slow, but after Paddy Dow really unfortunately went down with an injury, which I'll talk about in a sec, he lifted and played well from there. So he could potentially play next week, but as well, we have already had a look at him, so we'll see if he gets another chance. Liam O'Connell had the 21 touches, 8 tackles, 8 clearances, and they've said that it was his best game as an inside midfielder in the VFL. So playing a different role, which I think is a good thing, because obviously Liam's someone who didn't spent his entire childhood around AFL and football in general, so throwing him around the ground and just getting him the best understanding of how to play the game and just the game itself, I think is a good thing, and it sounds like he's playing well, so that's always a good sign. Angus Hasty had the 26 touches, 6 marks and 5 inside 50s, but I think they've just said that he's going to continue to work on his defensive craft and develop that defend first mentality as a high half back. But he's had a recent really good stint at AFL, so again, he's one that's probably had his chance. He'll certainly stick around. He's signed for the next couple of years, so potentially gets a look in maybe this week or next. Ari Schoenmaker, the 18 touches, 6 marks, 5 inside 50s and 1 goal. I'll read you his report because I find it interesting. Ari showcased a real aerial strength playing on the wing, where he had some great moments and kicked one of the goals of the VFL season, which is true. Go check that out on the socials. We've really liked his ability to play as a wingman and execute his role within our system. So starting to improve on some of those things that clearly at the start of the year he had a lot in his game that needed to improve, and obviously he's not the perfect player yet or anywhere close to it, but this has been a good development year for him. I think he's out of contract. He's one that I definitely want to see get another year, potentially 2. I think he's earned that right, and along with many others, the list management's going to be very interesting this year. I'm sure Jake and I will be covering that extensively over the next month or 2 after the season. But an injury update, as I mentioned, very sad news. Paddy Dow broke his collarbone, and he is going to miss the remainder of the season. Hopefully, I don't know the extent of a collarbone injury, but I assume he's still going to, it's going to be some time, but obviously he'll be right for round 1 next year, but it depends how much of his preseason is going to be interrupted, I suppose. So, very disappointing. He's obviously had a super unlucky run. He's one that's also out of contract, but I think he'll almost certainly get another year. The club will show that faith in him. He was playing really well. He probably would have been picked this week, maybe next, if he hadn't done that. So, the footy gods being pretty cruel to Paddy Dow, but hopefully we see him back next year. Ryan Burns is also going to be out for the season. Dougal Howard, we suspected out for the season, but that's just been confirmed. And Jimmy Webster, another one, which is interesting from a list management point of view. He's 1 week away. He could easily get 1 more year, but if he chose to retire, or if the club was going to move him on, does he come back for a farewell game next week? I'm not sure. So we'll see how that one plays out. Let's go over the team before we wrap it up, though. From the full back line, Liam Stocker, Anthony Caminiti and Alex Taru. On the half back line, Hunter Clark, Callum Wilkie and Jack Sinclair. On the wings, Hugh Boxall and Bradley Hill. In the midfield, Jack McRae, Mateus Filippo and Nasiah Wangani Malira, with Rowan Marshall as the ruck. On the half forward line, Jack Steele, hopefully Alex Dodson making his debut, Mason Wood. On the full forward line, Max Hall, Cooper Sharman and Jack Higgins. On the bench, Hugo Garcia, Darcy Wilson, Marcus Windhager and Toby Travalia. With Liam Henry as the sub. Emergencies are Max Heath, Angus Hasty and Zach Jones. So that is the predicted 23 for the week. As I said, stressful week with all the noise going on, but hopefully we can that fire can get put out by the club and Ross, and I guess we won't really know until trade period and all that happens, but settle down, Saints. It's going to be okay. I have faith. Obviously, the Naz one is still quite nerve-wracking, but until next week, go you mighty Saints, and we'll see you next week for the final 23 of the year.